Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Reddit Gold Standard podcast. My name is Zach Hernandez, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts Matt Llewellyn and Mike Andrews of Nothing But Niners. What a doozy that was. 49ers fall to 1-2 on the year after just a complete meltdown and losing this game 24-27 to the Los Angeles Rams, who probably had more beat up players on their team than the rest of the league combined. But don't worry, Kyle Shanahan found a way for his team to lose this game. So before I toss over to my guys, if you're watching on X, make sure you like and repost the stream. If you're watching on YouTube, on here, or Nothing But Niners, make sure you hit like and subscribe to the channel. And comment your thoughts. We want to hear all of them. Whose fault is this loss on? Who's ultimately responsible in your guys' opinion? We want to hear it. Like I said, they fall to 1-2, both losses to NFC teams as well. Matt, how you doing today?
Hey, Mike, it's 8 minutes for the algorithm. 8 minutes?
Yes, sir. Yeah, be careful, guys.
I will see you and tell you how I am in 5.5 minutes.
Mike, how you doing?
Hey, listen, man, I've been better. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been better. This was a tough one. Like, this felt like all the momentum was going our way. We had everything where we wanted it to be, and the Niners just flipped a switch. They just depended on trash, and every single lackluster signing, whether it be player or coach, reared their ugly heads. But we'll break it down. Coordinator, coach, whatever. We'll break it all down here. But hey, you know what? It's a long season. We're 1-2. You know, it's not over yet. But this is a tough one.
So last year, the 49ers Starks, I've already seen people in my responses on X saying, hey, they lost 3 in a row last year around this time. First of all, they started 5-0, and then they lost 3 in a row. It wasn't 3 losses within the first, or 2 losses in the first 3 games. Also, if you guys just remember last year, first loss was to Cleveland, and then they lost to Minnesota, and then they lost to Cincinnati. And then they later on Christmas lose to Baltimore, and then that backup game versus the Rams. But out of the 4 losses they have, 3 of them, or 5 losses they have, 3 of them were against AFC teams that didn't really affect the 49ers at all. They've already dropped 2 3 weeks into the year. One not only against a conference team, but a rival. This was Brock Purdy's first loss to a divisional rival in the Los Angeles Rams, and it came off just the most wasted, amazing performances by not Brock, but Juwan as well. Juwan Jennings finished this game with 11 receptions for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. The man caught 11 balls on only 12 targets. An insane outing. And Purdy, on the other hand, finished today 22 for 30 for 292 yards and 3 touchdowns with a rating of 137.1. He had 7 incompletions and 8 incompletions, and the 49ers finished with 7 drops today. And there was 1 pass that he threw. It kind of looked intentionally like he overthrew it to throw it out of bounds towards Aiyuk. He could have very easily ended today 29 of 30, well over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But the wide receivers just decided to let the team down today. Brandon Aiyuk, who the 49ers desperately needed to show up with CMC and Debo out and Kittle out. Aiyuk finished today with 5 receptions for 48 yards on 10 targets. 10 targets. He was yielding 50% results out there for your $30 million a year receiver. Obviously, I think. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, please.
What you guys have the target breakdown?
It's on ESPN.
Oh, we about to get to it. Oh, let's go, baby.
You want to see it?
You send me the link, put it in the chat. What? Oh, yeah. This is what I'm talking about right here.
So,
yeah.
Jennings had 12 targets and 11 receptions. Like I said, Aiyuk 10 targets and only 5 receptions. Saubert 2 for 2. Bell 3 targets, 1 reception. We'll get into Bell later once we're past the 8-minute mark, I assume. Mason 2 for 2 as well. Juszczyk 1 for 1. And I don't know why Brendel. Oh, probably on that last pitch play, Brendel and Pooney received a call for that Hail Mary last second, hook and ladder, whatever the fuck it's called. So yeah, 50% results for going to Aiyuk. Trent had to leave in the first half, right before halftime. to get a IV because he cramped up yet again. It just seems like these self-inflicted mistakes and injuries are never ending with this team. The 49ers, yet again, were bitten by special teams when what pissed me off the most, Kyle said they were prepared for the fake punt, and they still gave it up. They still gave it up on a drive that the Rams went on to get, I believe, a touchdown on, right? So people are going to say, if Moody makes this kick, the 49ers go to overtime, they probably win it. It was a 55-yard kick. Take a second and just think. I understand 50-yard kicks have kind of become the new norm in the NFL. If you told somebody 2-3 years ago a 55-yard kick, what are the chances somebody's going to make? They say like 30%. 55-yard kicks are not automatic. Moody set a field goal record with a 57-yard kick just this past February. It was 2 yards shy of that. So it's not like it was a 20-yard chip shot. So I don't know. I'm not one to put this blame on Moody. I'm just not. Mike, you're waiting to jump
in. Piggyback on what you're saying, I'm trying to buy Matt some time here before we got about 40 seconds here. To piggyback on what you're saying about Mooney, even if he made it, right? Like I want people to realize the Niners were up by 7 at that point. That was to go back up by 2 scores.
Mm-hmm.
That was to go back up by 2 scores. And we have to remember what happened on that drive. Are we going to do the drive-by-drive breakdown, or is that on the next show?
Yeah. No, we can.
That's on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I won't go into it right now, but you guys got to remember what happened on this drive that led to even the field goal attempt. Okay? And even if he made it, it's to put us back up by 10, not by 7. So that still means the defense let us down at the end. So just keep that in mind before you guys want to kill the second-year guy who has been 100% throughout the season so far and just missed 1 kick this week. This season. He's missed 1 kick this season. Keep that in mind before you guys start getting the pitchforks. I understand that we want to hate on Michigan guys. I'm with y'all on one of them, but not this one right here. Not this one right here.
So, Matt, do you want to?
Boy, I had some stupid motherfucker on Twitter trying to say, and you know who she is. I don't even have to tell you. She's dumb as fuck. But she was like, oh, Moody like choked in the Super Bowl and this and this. I'm like, what are you talking about? He hit a clutch 50-yarder. He missed the game winner. I'm like, are you talking about the blocked extra point? You talking about a block and you go put that on the kicker and not the line who's supposed to, block the fucking defenders so they don't block the kick? Like, you're talking about a 55-yarder and people acting like this is like a 30-yard chip shot, dude. No. 55 is still distance. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you think just Brandon Aubrey goes on trees? How many, let me put this to you this way. How many 50-plus yarders has the alleged GOAT Justin Tucker missed this year?
He's missed a handful.
A few. Yep. A few. And why we blaming Jake Moody when the very next play, Matthew Stafford just puts one up?
50 yards.
Tutu Atwell.
50 yards.
50 yards, one play.
Easy.
On Ward, on the 49ers' best corner, the Rams' third best receiver.
Listen, I'm going to get to Ward, but I never want to hear that stupid motherfucker again say, I do my best when I follow the best receiver. Their best receiver was Tutu Atwell, and he fucking cooked you, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit at all.
Oh, my God.
That's some bullshit.
Atwell finished 4 for 93 today. 4 on 9 targets for 93.
50 hung on Ward's head at least.
Yep.
At least. People getting on Renardo Green for that hold in the end zone. Listen, it was a hold. That's fine. But the fact of the matter is this. Get that fucking bum Yadam out of there and put Green in, because I'd rather have growing pains for somebody that actually has some fucking potential. That dude's a bum. Devondre Campbell's a bum. Nick Sorensen's a bum. Brandon Staley's a fucking bum. Brian Schneider, the special teams coach, should be fucking gone. Ronnie Bell, he didn't even go to Michigan anymore in my eyes. We don't breed losers at Michigan.
He got expunged.
Let's go. Wipe him clean, right?
Fucking loser.
He just Reggie Bushed his ass.
Michigan stated him.
Listen. For all I know, he was stealing the signs from other schools. I'm going to tell you this. When that ball went to him and it bounced 10 yards off, your hands are so stoned, the ball bounced 10 yards backwards when you fucked that up. Like, come on, man. This is some bullshit. 14-point lead, blown. I'm so sick and tired of everybody trying to give the defense a pass. And it's what I said about the Super Bowl when people are like, oh, they should have put up more than 22. They had the lead. They never trailed in that game. They never trailed once. And what happened? The defense The defense. I'm so sick and tired of this defense getting a pass. You know what? Right now, I'm going to call out somebody else who's been a bum this season. Nick Bosa, you've been a bum. You've been a bum. You've been a bum. I watch you on plays pitter-patter and not do shit, and you're getting paid the most out of any defensive lineman in the NFL, and you're not doing anything, dude. You're not doing anything. Javon Hargrave. I hope that tricep contusion feel good, bro, because you guys got bruised up all fucking game.
At least Hargrave had a nice sack today, but yeah.
I don't want to hear anybody on Twitter, and it's going around. It's going around. The same fucking suspects. Oh, Brock Purdy should have done this. Brock Purdy should have done that.
Right.
I don't want to hear shit about Brock Purdy carried this team today. Him and JJ carried this fucking team. Brock Purdy was 22 of 30, and the wide receivers dropped 6 passes.
Say it again. Say it again.
22 of 30, and the wide receivers dropped 6 passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He said that shit bilingual for you motherfuckers. Get off Brock's nuts. You hear me? Get off Brock's nuts.
Put some fucking respect on his name. Put some respect on his name. All right? Because here's the fact of the matter. BA held out the entirety of training camp, and he's out there not catching shit. BA is so bad right now on that hook and ladder play. Every fucking offensive lineman caught the ball.
Nobody caught that.
And he was the one to drop it.
Yeah.
Ronnie Bell was the one that caught the ball. Stonehands Bell. Everybody on that play caught the ball, but the $30 million wide receiver couldn't catch a fucking lateral, and he had a clear path to the end zone.
If he catches that, the 49ers very easily finish this game in the end zone.
I am sick and fucking tired of and you know what? This goes on the front office too. I'm sick and fucking tired of these antics going into fucking July, August, September, right? Why does Trent Williams bum ass need to get somebody hand him a fucking Gatorade before the game? Hand him a fucking Gatorade. And people are like, they should have paid him. He had 3 years left on his contract. Okay. Right. Like, listen, I'm all for players getting paid, but at the same time, like the Trent Williams and the Jamar Chases who have multi-years left on your deal, it's like, if you didn't want those guaranteed dollars to go away, then don't fucking restructure.
He just did last year.
Trent Williams, they're going to cut Trent Williams? No, they're not. You could have said, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah. But you did. And now you want to hold him up for money. And you're 36 years old. And you're not a slight dude. You're a big dude. And you think you're just going to go out there and play every game and every play and have nothing happen. And you had cramps last week. You didn't think to fucking hydrate this week? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? From the strength and conditioning coach to the defensive coordinator to the special teams coach to everybody. For Kyle Shanahan, why the fuck is Ronnie Bell out there? What'd you draft Jacob Cowing for? To just return punts?
Why is Conley on this team? The veteran that you guys love so much, right?
Who has played and caught meaningful balls in playoffs.
Yes. Right. Yes. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What made Ronnie Bell the guy? What did Conley and Cowling do? Did their name, was this an alphabetical wide receiver chart? The C's are after the B's, so Bell's got to go in first? Like, what the fuck was the logic behind putting this motherfucker in there over and over again?
I got it. I got to hit it. Beautiful.
Listen, man. I'm just saying, you can't get somebody else. Like, there's nobody on the free agent market. Fucking pull Julio Jones out of mothball. I don't even know if he's on a team, but like, there ain't nobody that can. You know what I mean? Like, fuck,
Ronnie fucking Bell, burn number 10. Don't bring him back to this Niners team for the next 5 years. We need a rest. We need a reprieve from number 10. Like, just MIB that shit in our brains. Give us a break.
It needs to be the same as 7 was. It needs to go away for a couple years, and we don't need to see that shit.
Just this past weekend, a few days ago, Kyle does his weekly show with NBC Sports Bay Area. He sits down with Greg Papa. He literally said that Ronnie Bell was just a natural catcher of the ball and an amazing football player. Yet he can't fucking buy a way onto your field when Ronnie Bell, excuse me, did I say Ronnie Bell? I meant Jacob Cowing. Jacob Cowing is a natural catcher of the ball and just an insane football player, and that's why they're happy to have him. I have to show you guys this, because this is what Kyle Shanahan is doing to himself by playing Ronnie Bell over Jacob Cowing. Maybe you should stop playing Ronnie Bell over Cowing if this is your reaction when it goes to Ronnie Bell on a potential game-winning drive tied 24-24 with under 2 minutes left. You have the ball and one timeout. This is what happens after Brock Purdy throws a dime that hits him right in the hands.
Yep. And look how far away the ball is bouncing from him.
Yeah. It's like magnets that are opposite. You know how they you can't get them together? That's the ball in Ronnie Bell's hands.
And we already know, right? Didn't we talk after week 1 how the guy from ESPN, fucking Kyle, whatever his name is, you know what I'm talking about? Who's the quarterback?
I don't know Kyle on ESPN. Oh, Kyle, Dan Orlovsky?
Dan Orlovsky. Kyle. What the fuck?
I don't know how I connected that. That's crazy.
No. Hey, you know what? Whatever works. But Dan Orlovsky says that Purdy's out there. He throws marshmallows, like easy to catch passes. Yeah. And this shit just like so BA did this, and I've noticed this, and Ronnie Bell did this. They let the ball get to their body rather than reaching out with their hands to catch the ball. And so the reason the ball bounced that far off of Ronnie Bell was hit him square in the chest plate on his shoulder pads.
Right on the fucking pads. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right in the numbers. Right in between the 1 and 0.
That's kind of my issue, right? Like, so there was things to take away from this game, right? And I know that we went down the targets and receptions numbers and all that stuff, right? Brandon Aiyuk was going to be the guy bracketed and doubled this entire game. Did I want him to have the kind of game that that Jennings had? Absolutely. But reality says every defensive coordinator playing the Niners without CMC, Kittle, and Debo are going to do this to him, right? So the other guys are going to be the ones that have to step up. Yes, he had 5 receptions. Yes, he had 5 other targets that went his way. I think 1 or 2 of them were throwaways. 1 was a drop. I don't know about the other 2, right? But here's what I do know. He also got 2 or 3 penalties that came his way for automatic first downs. So you're not going to catch everything, and those are still going to count as targets. Mm-hmm. He did his job. Was I happy with the production? Absolutely not. It absolutely could have been better. What I don't like—
he got 3 big ones, though.
Yeah, but what I was going to say, what I don't like is Ronnie Bell, this is your fucking moment. We never call your name. We don't expect shit from you. You are the guy that needs to make a name for yourself to get the $2.5 million deal that Jennings just got. This is your moment to step up. And what do? You completely shit the bed, dude. Like these things, bro, he couldn't have walked down the field and stuffed them in your jock strap any better, and you dropped them. You dropped them. Like what are you doing out there? How do you let that happen to you in this moment? The biggest moment of the game, while Juwan Jennings already had 11 receptions, 100-plus yards, and 3 touchdowns, you still had an opportunity to walk away and be remembered for your contributions in this game, and you shit the bed. The NFL is not for you. It's not for you. Gotta go. Sorry, not sorry.
And wait, like, somebody put it in the chat. Dude, is Hunter Renfrow a free agent?
No, he's still with Vegas. I'm pretty sure.
I think they cut him, right?
Really?
Or did they re-sign?
Let's see. I'm Googling it right now. Free agent. You're correct. He is a free agent. Sign his ass.
A chain eater that will catch the ball? You don't think Kyle Shanahan could use that over Ronnie motherfucking Bell?
Come on,
yep.
Like, I'm on the phone with him yesterday. Just like the Dolphins should have been on the phone last week with fucking Ryan Tannehill getting him in the building. I don't understand why you leaving good players out in free agency and then filling your roster full of fucking bums, dude. I don't care if Purdy has to be like, hey, Hunter, you're running a 10-yard out. Like, literally tell the motherfucker what he's doing. I don't care. But Ronnie Bell should not be allowed on the team plane. Ronnie Bell should have it. Ronnie Bell needs to be like that dude on the Jets that punches in his code and tries to get in the building and that shit's locked. That's what that needs to be.
Jamal Adams.
That's what that needs to be. He's fucking trash. He's trash.
Well, you know what I don't understand it. I was trying to find that gif of those guys kind of looking each other up and down. I can't find it. But Kyle Shanahan drafts these rookies because he's so exciting. He loves their talent. And then he fucking like hates them once he gets them on their team. It's like, what changed, dude? You drafted Jacob Cowing because you thought he could have a positive impact on your offense. And the second you get him and you actually could use him because Debo's out, Kittle's out, CMC's out, you're like, fuck you, Cowing. I'm going with the 7th round guy that I drafted last year that I want to say has had maybe one positive play in his career for the 49ers, which was a touchdown pass on a Thursday night game versus the Giants last year. Everything other than that, when the ball goes his way, he doesn't catch it. He has penalties, boneheaded penalties on special teams, fumbles, punts. Like, it's just like, why are we still doing this? It's like the Dante Pettis experiment all over again. But Dante was at least a like 2nd or 3rd round pick where it made sense that you wanted to give this guy a lot of tries. I didn't even have Bell making the roster. If you guys go back to our roster predictions, I didn't even have him making it.
None of us did.
No.
None of us did.
No.
This motherfucker got lucky that 2 people had to go on IR before, and that's why he made the roster. He was the last fucking guy. Conley was a lock. Where was Conley? I don't understand. Where was Cowing?
Yeah.
I still don't get how they decided it was him instead of them.
Yep.
Because even if he caught the ball, right? Cool. Good catch. Keep the chains moving. Phenomenal. Who does more with the ball in their hands after the catch? We've never seen Ronnie Bell be a yak guy. We've never fucking seen it. Why was he the guy that they decided to lean on in those moments? What happened to Jennings? What happened to Aiyuk? One of the targets, Aiyuk was wide open down the middle of the field. Brock Purdy ran around for 35 fucking seconds. 35 seconds behind the line of scrimmage. I knew for sure there was going to be a holding penalty somewhere. No flag anywhere.
Just like they didn't call any on the Rams.
Listen, I don't even blame Brock Purdy for not throwing that ball, because I feel
No, because we still did what we needed to do on that play.
Well, one, you worry about Purdy not looking off the safety, and if he tries to really lob one out there, maybe the guy can get back in time. This is where Purdy is talking about hey, let's be conservative, because I'm sure he felt like we're in field goal. All I got to do is get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's why he ran it, right? It's not like he didn't look for stuff a little shorter, but he was looking hey, let's get the first down, or at least stay in position for field goal. Let's not get too crazy with whatever. And then people online are just Purdy should fucking hit Aiyuk wide ass open.
No, he shouldn't.
First of all, no, he shouldn't, because you don't know where the safety is in that play, right? I'm sure on the all 22 we'll see that it was probably a better decision than most people thought. And 2, BA had dropped passes earlier, so I'm sure Brock's I don't know.
Aside from all of that, it was about situational awareness, right?
Of
if
course.
you were going to give a guy $60 million a year, he needs to be, guys, 6 more yards and we are in field goal range versus a chancing and incompletion. He took the safe 6 yards. I think he got more than that, and put the team in field goal range.
I think
that's what you want to see from the $60 million guy.
Yeah, I think that was the one where he ran for a few more yards. But yeah, if you thought 55 was bad, where they were at before that play was 59 or 60.
Exactly. So he did the right thing, and that's my point. Situational awareness. You got to know the down, you got to know the distance, and you have to be aware of what your team can and can't do. He was aware of what Moody's limitations were, and he got beyond that point. He did what he needed to do to put the Niners up by 2 scores. He couldn't control the fact that he missed it.
This comment right here, oh my God, I can't wait till Ricky Pearsall come back from IR after week 4. After next week, actually. After the Patriots game, he's eligible to come off of IR, and I'm sure he's going to.
He's already running routes at practice.
And then Ronnie Bell can get fucked. He's going to get cut.
Yep. So let me go through the drives like we typically do, but we want to hear your guys' hot takes. We want to hear your guys' authentic response. So please
get out of here. No, fuck the comments. If it's not a super chat, we don't want to hear it. Put a super chat, 99 cents. Let's go. Let's go.
Fuck the comments. Yeah, fuck your thoughts.
Let's go. Super chat time, because I don't want to hear this shit. I'm not responding to all 500 comments that we're going to get.
So let's get this drive. So the 49ers get the ball to start, and they start with Jordan Mason. Finally, Mike, Jordan Mason not only gets to start, but gets a handoff to start, 6-yard gain. And then 2nd and 4, Purdy throws for Aiyuk for 11 yards. There's a penalty for a face mask. There was also a roughing the passer because Purdy took a shot low, but 15 yards either way. The 49ers get it. They're all the way up to the Rams 38 in 2 plays. Incomplete pass to Jennings. Mason run for 7 yards. Mason run for 7 yards. Jordan Mason for 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Mason for 7 yards. Gets all the way down to the LA 13. 1st and 10 from the 13. Purdy drops back, finds a wide open Juwan Jennings, middle of the end zone for a touchdown. They start 7-0. What were your guys' thoughts on that first drive? How excited were you to see it?
I love the first drive. I liked it. It seemed like the Niners were in control, but I didn't get too excited because we all know that they script the first 15 to 20 plays. So I was like, all right, it's scripted. That's good. I want to see what we do after this. But the first drive, I was like, let's go. Let's get this. That's what we want to see. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first opening drive that the 49ers scored on this season.
Yep, correct.
So I was very, very happy to see that. I celebrated that, rang the bells, played the music. We did a little dance to it and all that good stuff. Good opening drive for the 49ers. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, very good. Very impressive. Mason, Jennings just immediately got the ball, got the game started on the right foot. So then Niners kickoff. Rams go 3 and out. Williams run for 5 yards. Williams runs for 3 yards, and then an incomplete pass. So the 49ers defense starts great. 3 and out. 49ers get the ball back at their own 23. Mason gets stuffed for a loss of 2. Mason goes up for 4. It's 3rd and 8, and Purdy goes deep for Aiyuk, but it falls incomplete, but there is a penalty. Tre'Davious White is called for holding, so the 49ers get 5 yards and a first down. 1st and 10 at the Niners 30. Purdy hits Aiyuk for another 7 yards. Pooney is flagged for an eligible man downfield, so a 5-yard penalty. 1st and 15 to 25, incomplete pass. And then Purdy hits Jennings for 34 yards. Jennings was a beast today. I'm sure you guys all saw it. So then it's 1st and 10 at the Rams 41. 1-yard run by Mason. Short pass to Aiyuk for 2 yards. It's 3rd and 7. Incomplete pass to Jennings, but another illegal contact on the Rams gave the 49ers 5 yards and a first down. 1st and 10 at the 33. Incomplete pass. Trent, that is, gets called for holding. So the 49ers are backed up 10 yards. 1st and 20 at the 43. Purdy finds Saubert for 16 yards. 2nd and 4 from the 27. Incomplete pass to Aiyuk. 3rd and 4. Purdy hits Aiyuk, but it's incomplete. But another pass interference is called. So, Mike, those are those penalties that you were just talking about when he is passing to Aiyuk. There's like 2 or 3 penalties right here. 1st and 10 from the 13. Mason runs it up for 3 yards. Short pass on 2nd down for 9 yards. So down to the 1-yard line. Mason gets stuffed on 1st and 2nd down, but no worries. A shotgun pass to Jennings again for his 2nd touchdown of the day. The 49ers are up 14-0. Am I the only one that was like, oh, we're blowing the brakes off this team? Yeah. They're going to win this game 41-10 or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that we were going to run roughshod on these guys. Like, this is when I was like, okay, the Niners are doing what they're supposed to do. I don't care that Aiyuk isn't getting all the catches. He's drawing flags. This is what a number 1 wide receiver is supposed to do. Not that I want to see drops. Let me be very clear what I'm saying. I did not want to see drops because that goes to the tally of Aiyuk's missed drops. But if you're going to draw flags on the drops on the passes that you don't catch, that's the way to do it. Draw the flags. So, I know he finished the game. It's a black wire. I know that he draws flags for the whole, I'm sorry. I know that he's going to finish the game with the five, not completed passes. That right there is 2. So technically he's 7 of 10. Like just off of that right there. So I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that for a number 1 wide receiver who was being doubled the entire game. That's what you want to see.
Matt, did you have any thoughts on that drive? Or
no, I mean, again, it looked early like the 49ers were just going to blow them out. That it was going to be another Levi South invasion. It was going to be another, easy win in Los Angeles for the 49ers. But, when one side of the ball does its job and the other 2 phases of the game don't do theirs, it becomes a whole different issue.
So the 49ers go up 14-0 early. Like I said, Rams get the ball back, go 7 plays, 13 yards. And have to punt. 49ers get the ball up 14-0. And here I'm thinking, all right, if they get another touchdown or even a field goal, like this game, we're talking blowout territory. 2 scores is good, but it's still close, Well, 49ers go 5 plays, a 3-yard run, 12-yard pass to Aiyuk, 6-yard pass to Juice, 2nd and 4, Mason gets stuffed. And then on 3rd and 4, Purdy goes deep for Aiyuk, and it falls incomplete, unfortunately. So the 49ers have to punt from their own 40. Rams get the ball, and they get it deep in their own territory. At the 13, starts with a 2-yard run, incomplete pass, 3rd and 8. Matt Stafford finds Tutu Atwell for 24 yards. And who else but Yadam in coverage? Yadam, again, is picked on today. 1st and 10 from the Rams 39, incomplete pass, deep. And Matt Stafford is actually fouled or flagged for intentional grounding, so 11-yard penalty. 2nd and 21, Stafford, short pass to Tyler Johnson, I believe is his name, for 9 yards. 3rd and 12, I'm thinking, all right, Niners are going to get off the field here. Nope. He finds, they did get the stop. 6-yard pass, it's 3rd and 6, and this is where the 49ers the Rams did the fake punt. It's 4th and 6 at midfield, and they give up 7 yards. And this is what infuriated us, is that Kyle Shanahan said they were prepared for the fake punt. They were expecting it. They knew it was coming around that moment. And sure enough, they couldn't get off the field. On top of that, D. Winters gets injured on this play. Anything else, Ed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If you were prepared for the fake and you couldn't stop it, Get rid of Schneider. Like,
he should have been gone.
I can't say it enough. I've been over this guy since the hiring in his first presser.
You were against the hire to begin with on this show. You said, I'm not a fan of this.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know, Mike.
Right. You hire a guy through text message who said, I wasn't even looking for a job in the NFL at the time, and they asked me if I was interested. I said, sure, I'll come out and do it as a favor. Like, fuck you, dude. You're not doing us a favor. You know, we don't owe you shit. Who the fuck are you? You came from a divisional opponent, and we mollywopped your asses on special teams. We don't – fuck him. What made them even think that this was the guy, right? When are they going to start caring about the third phase of the game?
Thank you. Thank you.
Honestly.
And I bet you Kyle Shanahan would argue, hey, I drafted a kicker and a punter early on, and I got ridiculed for that. I care about this. That's all you did. It was like damn, fucking take these picks and get off my back about special teams. You don't care about it, clearly. I mean, John Middlecoff, who has connections, has said very clearly multiple times, Kyle Shanahan puts zero time and effort into special teams when it comes to
and that's a Kyle issue. That's something that I'm starting to have issue with Kyle.
Yes.
That if you're the head coach, you need to care about every aspect of your job. All right. Like, listen, okay. That's like if I'm working at the hospital and it's like, cool, I'll take care of patients and I'll make sure I do that. But maybe I'm not going to wash my hands all the time. Like I'm not going to update charts. Like that's what this is. It's more than just hand washing, Matt. This is not taking care of charts and logging what you did for the patient. You could overdose somebody. You could, you know what I'm saying? Like this is significant shit. It seems minor. It's huge. The third phase of the game is still that. It's 33% of the fucking game, dude. Even if your team isn't scoring, you got to play the opposite side. It's when you guys score, special teams comes out. When the other team scores, special teams comes out. It's a huge aspect of the game. You can't not care about it. Right. This comes down on Kyle and the hiring choices that they've made. It's Mike, that simple.
Do you remember what I said Friday night about a certain other team in the NFC with their quarterback that got injured on opening week? The fucking Green Bay Packers. And I said if Matt LaFleur can go undefeated with Malik Willis, who just got there 3 weeks ago, then Kyle has no fucking excuse, injury or not, to whoever to not win this game. Matt LaFleur and the Packers look great. They blew the Titans out. Today. Mm-hmm. And with Malik Willis, not only just handing the ball off, he looked good as a passer too. Kyle Shanahan, this team wasted a 300-yard, 3-touchdown performance from Purdy, 11-catch, 175-yard, 3-touchdown performance from Jauan Jennings, another 80-yard rushing game from Mason. It's just unfathomable to me that they lose in the way that they did. But we got a super chat here, so let me get to the super chat. Our guy Delvin Thomas says, Huff still can't cover deep, and apparently no one else on our team can either. What the fuck? Sidebar, Jennings is a star. I mean, he would start on as the number one receiver, or at least at the very least number two receiver for a lot of teams, I would argue. I would give Huff a little grace. It's his first game back, tore his ACL 10 months ago.
I didn't see a ton of breaks from the safeties. I thought our corners actually got cooked more.
Agreed, yeah. Yadam, Ward.
Lenore
was fine.
Lenore was fine.
Yeah.
I think I heard his name called once, and it was on the overturned fumble because it was down by contact. That's literally the only time I heard Ward's name. And not Ward, I mean Lenore.
Yeah. Right.
And if I don't hear your name as a cornerback, you're doing a great job because that means they're not throwing your way.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, this is Ward and Yadam getting cooked by a team that's missing Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and 3 offensive linemen and yada, yada, yada. So, where do you go from here?
That's what was the most frustrating.
This defense has been cooked. This defense has been absolutely cooked since DeMeco Ryans took that head coaching job in Houston.
And Kyle knows, because not only did he reach out to Bill Belichick, he tried to get Steve Spagnuolo. He called Steve Spagnuolo this offseason and said, hey, any chance we can kind of lure you over here? And then Steve ended up signing that extension with the Chiefs. He reached out to Bill Belichick, not only as a DC, but as like an assistant coaching role, basically assistant head coach. Bill didn't take it. It seemed like, and we said it at the time, as much confidence as we wanted to have Nick Sorensen, it seemed like he was kind of their fucking only option, like, hey, that guy's here. Yeah, Nick's been here this whole time. Might as well make him call the defense.
Yeah, but keep making calls. Wade Phillips is still available. Like, There are legendary defensive coordinators that are out there. Rex fucking Ryan. Like, I don't give a shit what you do. Try. Give the faithful something to believe in instead of promoting from within guys that we've never fucking heard of. This guy, like, where did Nick Storson come from? Where did he come from? What did he do? What has he earned?
Nothing. And honestly, listen, I know that John Lynch has a good relationship with Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick essentially handed us Jimmy Garoppolo in that trade, like handpicked us to take it. He should have been on the phone. He should be on the phone now, massaging every bit of Bill Belichick's ego. And you need to make Jed York spend just that much more money because Sorensen ain't it. And clearly Staley ain't it. By the way, Staley is allegedly like a DB guy.
Yep.
And by the way, Coach Kasurek, you're not getting off easy either. Your defensive line consistently underperforms. And you know what? We talked about it on the preview show. We're talking about it on the preview show that we definitely needed to, have an eye on him if they didn't perform, and they didn't perform today.
No.
How many sacks did they have on a fucking statue in Matt Stafford?
And a beat-up offensive line that's missing 3 starting linemen. That line looked like the Lions line out there today. It was insane. I think they had 3 sacks. To be fair, Matt fell down for 1, and Collins or something just tapped him. Go ahead, Mike.
We play down to the competition all the time.
Again.
3 sacks is okay, blah, right? We should have dominated the trenches in this game. We should have dominated. There was a play where we had 5 defensive linemen out there, and they still converted a fucking first down. Like, what the fuck are we doing, guys? What are we doing? What are the 49ers doing? They're just so, like, complacent. They're just sitting back and say, "Oh no, we got this," because we have really good players out there. Yeah. They avoided Fred Warner. They targeted Campbell. They went after Yadam. Like, cut the shit, for crying out loud. Give a fuck about the other 2 phases of the game, Kyle. Give a fuck about the other 2 phases of the game. You have to. Like, I just don't know what else needs to happen. And this is why they call us the whiners, because we express our concerns immediately following the game. We're not saying that the sky is falling and the season's over by any stretch of the imagination. But that does not mean that we have to sit here and act like everything is okay. Oh, there's plenty of time, guys. You guys are overreacting. Fuck you. There's 14 games left. But through 3, we have plenty to not be happy about, and it's okay for us to say it.
Well,
it's okay for us to analyze immediately.
And here's the worst part about it. We should have beat these last 2 teams. The 49ers have more talent than Minnesota. They have more talent than the Rams, especially right now. And you losing. Now, all of a sudden, I have to look at next week as not only a must-win game, but can they even fucking win that game?
Yeah. Yep.
49ers are 0-2 on the road. 0-2 on the road.
Yep. We won at home. Great.
Yeah.
Great. We'll be back at home next week. Great.
A meaningless game against the AFC. We are 0-2 on the road. Right. We are 0-1 in the division NFC. And 0-2 in the fucking conference.
Yeah. We got a super chat here from Great Fox.
I would swap any one of these wins for one of these losses. I would swap that win for any one of these losses because it means more down the stretch. The tiebreakers and all that shit. It means more. This was not the game to fucking lose. Now you got 2-3 teams in the NFC West that are 1-2. Did Seahawks win tonight?
I don't even know. I was just going to say, on top of that, the Seahawks are 3-0.
Like,
they whooped the Dolphins without Tua. They have a 2-game lead on anyone else. But let's get to
Arizona. Okay,
Arizona lost, I'm pretty sure, to Detroit. So Arizona, the Rams and the Niners are all 1-2, and the Seahawks are 3-0. Great Fox 198 says Sorensen needs to go. Put Staley as DC. At least he has experience being one. This team can't have a fucking rookie defensive coordinator. Well, that's a good point. Just the fact that we argued they couldn't win with a rookie quarterback unless he came in at a really high level. Couldn't the same argument be made that they can't risk, I should say, a rookie DC at this stage of where they are as a franchise, where it's basically make or break it, and you're giving it, you're putting all your chips in with a rookie DC. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, listen, Kyle has this weird loyalty to certain people, like this weird, like Ronnie Bell is a perfect example, right? Like you can't tell me that Jacob Cowing isn't a better player in practice everywhere than Ronnie Bell, but Ronnie Bell's the one getting reps, right? It's why when we need somebody and somebody gets hurt or whatever, they got these guys on lock. It's why Dante Johnson re-signed with the 49ers like 75 fucking times, because he just has this like whatever loyalty. Sorensen, I could see them taking defensive play calling duty out of his hands if this continues. But I think it goes beyond just the coordinator. I think that this goes just all the way around to some of the personnel. Like Devondre Campbell has no business being on this team. He doesn't fit what the 49ers want to do with their linebacking core.
He was their second choice because they tried to sign. The linebacker from Los Angeles that ended up signing with Dallas, Eric Kendricks, right? So they had a deal in place with the free agency tampering period, and then for some reason he backed out and went to Dallas to go play for Mike Zimmer, who's the DC over there now. So Campbell wasn't their first choice.
I mean, he went to go play with Zimmer because that was his former head coach in Minnesota.
No, I get it. I'm just saying, like the Niners clearly by their decisions, they didn't even want Campbell. It was kind of like, well, fuck, Kendricks just backed out on us. And they did start D Winters today over Campbell, and then D Winters gets hurt in the fake punt. Yep. So I agree with you, Matt. Like it's not a good fit, but they're fucked until Dre gets healthy. Mike, I had cut you off, please.
No, you're absolutely fine. Damn, I don't remember what I was going to say now. It's
was it about Sorensen?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you guys. Where does Sorensen watch the game from and call plays from? Is he upstairs or downstairs?
I think he's on the sidelines.
He's on the sidelines, I think.
Definitively, or the fact that here's my point. The fact that we don't know.
Box, that's all I'll say.
Right. But that's my point. The fact that we don't know means that the 49er fan base doesn't have the same vitriol that they did for Steve Wilkes. And that's my point. Where's that energy? Well, where the fuck is that energy?
I would push back and say it's only week 3. The 49ers started 5-0 last year. I think it bought him some good faith because the defense looked good.
Oh, man, you were forgetting. People were on Wilkes early. 2 games in, and we were on Wilkes. 3 games in, we were on Wilkes. It was the 4th game that he came downstairs. The first 3 games, he was upstairs, and we were 3. Yes.
He came down in Jacksonville.
I promise you.
He came down in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
it was after
the bye week.
Yeah, it was after the bye week. Absolutely, it was after the bye week.
It was week 9 in Jacksonville.
Yep.
That was the first time he came down because they used the time to adjust and whatever.
Uh-huh.
I watched that game a million times in the offseason because there's only, 10, 11 wins the Niners had. So I remember them making a point saying, he's now down on the sidelines after having.
So I will
say that you and me and Zach and a lot of other people, we're on Sorensen. We see him.
Stay on him.
I'm gonna
stay on him.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be watching.
We will.
I don't think it's too cool for school. Fucking Zach Morris's fucking high uncle
Matthew McConaughey
smoking the weed. Yeah. Some fucking Temu Matthew McConaughey budget looking motherfucker. Like, no, man. It doesn't work that way. And I hope D Winters gets healthy because he at least has sideline to sideline in a way that Devondre Campbell does not.
Can I ask you guys this question? After the second drive, third drive, maybe fourth, they bench Yidam and they put Green in.
Well, I thought so, but actually it was
no. It was Ward. Ward was on the sideline.
And he came out. And that was when Green came in because I thought the same thing. And then I saw, I think Tracy Sandler
was on the field
with
on
the
that
helmet.
play.
Yeah. So, and then they immediately went at Green.
And you know what? I don't even care. Next week, I don't want to see Yadam. You know what I want to see? I want to see.
Holy shit.
I want to see Renardo Green out there because if you listen, Yadam's getting cooked.
Yeah.
But
he is.
He's like a 6-year pro. Like he's done.
Get him off the fucking field.
Done developing. Renardo Green's a rookie that you drafted in the 2nd round that has a lot of potential. Go through the growing pains and get this kid the reps.
Yes. If we're going to see mistakes, let it be from a fucking rookie, not from the veteran.
Right.
Let us see a guy who can make a mistake and learn from it, not somebody who's been in the NFL for however long and not getting better.
Did we not just go through this shit last year with Isaiah Oliver?
Exactly. Yeah. Why do we have to do it again? Why take so long to make the adjustments? In-game adjustments.
And part of this is Kyle, too. Does he not look around and go, this looks fucking familiar?
Well, what bugs me is that Yadam, to his credit, seems to always be in position, but I just don't think he has the speed. He's not fast enough to keep up with these receivers. He's not smart enough to get his, I shouldn't say smart. He's not savvy enough to keep his head around. And he gets beat deep. He gets beat in zone. He gets beat constantly. Whereas I think with Green, he at least has the speed. And like you guys are saying, if there are going to be growing pains, I'd rather there be growing pains with somebody who has the athleticism to make the play, even if he, got caught or whatever it is. But we got some big.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna say at least put Green in there, who's athletic, and if Sorensen's gonna run fucking third down man coverage every single fucking time, and I will give a little bit of grace to Sorensen in the fact that the Rams were only 5 of 12 on third down rather than like 9 of 11 like the fucking Vikings were last week. So
they were better today.
That, but fuck, man, like. 7 penalties, 111 yards on the 49ers. Like, how do you give up 27 points to a team that didn't even have 300 yards of total offense?
Well, what pissed me off too is, and not to be that guy, then I'm gonna get super chats. How many times do we see Leonard Floyd or Nick Bosa in a headlock and Stafford steps up and hits a pass? There was at least 3 or 4 times off the top of my head that I could think of, and none of them were called.
That first quarter, we actually got some flags, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like
we were joking. Like, did Kyle finally pay the refs? Yeah.
Yo,
did he finally pay the refs?
I swear on everything on the Patreon. I said it. I said if we are going to play like this, and the refs are going to help us out, we're going to boat race these guys.
Yeah.
I said it, and then that was like, okay,
the refs were just like,
over.
just kidding. I'm gonna fuck you from that third quarter. Let's get to the super chats. We got another one from our guy Gray Fox 198. Serious question: when is Greenlaw expected to be back? Also, the only thing I heard about why Sorensen was promoted is because he ran the Saturday defensive meetings, whatever the fuck that means. I'm not sure actually when Greenlaw is expected back. He tore his ACL in the Super Bowl.
I don't think Greenlaw is expected to
playoffs.
Yeah, it's later in the year, late November, early December at tops is what I'm understanding from.
I wouldn't even count on it. I wouldn't even activate him until the playoffs.
Jeez.
Like I would start getting him ready towards the end because you got to remember he tore that Achilles in the Super Bowl. That's February, man. You're not going to get good return on that for like 9 months. So you're looking at December at the earliest.
Yeah. So
at that point, just start ramping him up and getting him in shape for the playoffs. Have him on your 53 if you can afford to do so, and have him out at practice and building.
We can afford to do so. And Ronnie Bell is here.
Yeah, I mean. And get those hits in, right? So he can get used to the contact. And then you plug him right in for the wild card game, which the 49ers are a wild card team right now. They're not winning this division playing like this.
Now with Mike McDonald as the coach of Seattle. But all right, we got another super chat from our guy Sean.
Fucking Sean.
Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Love that.
Yeah.
Make some fucking noise. Let's go, baby.
Everyone throw down if you can. Jennings is
Cheers.
The best out of the 3. BA is good in quotations, if that. I am 100% serious. This wide receiver room, like it or not, and offense was designed around Debo. Funny, struggled when the D was gone. 2023 Aiyuk looks like crap and won't live up to the contract. That's a big
statement. So I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. I think the offense absolutely was designed around Debo, but as it stands right now, Debo's the 3rd best wide receiver on this team.
By the way, to add on that real quick, Debo had 156 yards and he was the leading receiver in 2 weeks. Jennings topped that in one game today. He had 175 yards receiving.
Game.
Mike, please.
One game. Yeah, no. You're absolutely fine. You're absolutely right? So this was a game that showed what happens when a team has to focus on just one player, right? So kind of the Niners' Achilles heel is too much talent, right? The defenses that we play against have to focus on everybody so they can't double anybody. In today's game, it was this guy is going, and that guy is going. We'll double him and dare them to beat us with everybody else. And we saw finally what a normal NFL team looks like when they have one star player and then a supporting cast around them. That's what we saw today, and it allowed the number 2 wide receiver, number 3 wide receivers to get more looks and more opportunities. We saw that. But because there's so much talent on this team, it keeps opposing defenses honest. We're not going to double that guy. We're not going to double this guy. We're not going to double that guy. Everyone just plays sound football. And that's what we've been seeing. What we saw tonight was the exact opposite of that. It was we have to focus on Aiyuk because he is the $30 million guy. We're not going to let him beat us. That's the Belichick rule, right? Take away their best option. That's what we saw tonight from the Rams. They tried it. We saw penalties. We saw 5 catches. I get it. BA looked good. I'll give you that on tonight's game. He looked good. If that. I'll give you that. But When the other guys come back, BA should be the guy. BA should be the guy getting more targets. Kyle said so himself before this game started. If you listen to the KNBR interview with Tolbert and Copert or whatever the guy's name, Copper, I don't know what the other guy's name, starts with a C. There's an OPP in there somewhere. But shout out to Naughty by Nature, Jersey, right? That guy, Copel, you know me. So he said it in there, like last game against the Vikings, Aiyuk was open, but we couldn't get him the ball. Right? So Aiyuk is doing what he's supposed to do. And again, I'm not making excuses or anything like that for Aiyuk, but tonight was what happens when a normal offense runs out with a good running back, a top wide receiver one, and now everyone else has to step up because they're doubling and taking away that guy. We saw what a normal 49ers offense would look like without 4-star skill position players out there. That's what this looks like. Yep. Winnable, absolutely. But it's going to make the number one guy's job a lot harder. So you can take it for what it's worth. I credit Brandon Aiyuk with 7 plays in this game, 2 penalties so far through the first, 2 drives we only went through? I don't think we got to the 3rd drive yet. No, so yet. two plays where there were penalties, a couple of catches so far. Like, this is what you want from your number one guy. This is exactly what you want. Why we didn't go to him at the end, down the stretch, is a different story. But this is kind of what we're looking for. Sean, thank you so much for the super chat. I don't know if Aiyuk will live up to the contract. He's got a couple more years left on it. I don't know if he's going to live up to it. But so far, I am not. This is going to sound like I'm playing favorites, and I swear to God I'm not. I want Aiyuk with the locks. I don't want this Afro puff Aiyuk. I want the old Aiyuk back. But I'm not disappointed in what I saw for Aiyuk. If you're going to be out there and open shit up for another guy to get 175 yards and 3 touchdowns, do that every game, and I'll be happy that you got the contract that you got because that means someone else is eating. So I'm not willing and ready to kill Brandon Aiyuk just yet.
Yo, I got to respect that. Listen, I'm not gonna dog Aiyuk, but let's not pretend like the contract stuff with him and Trent haven't affected both of their play.
Absolutely,
100%. It absolutely has, and so I guess that's a positive that you can take out of this is that eventually those guys are going to come around and get back into shape. You know, you hope there is some light at the end of the tunnel or whatever for this thing. So hopefully they can get back to that, with guys coming back, with guys getting in shape, maybe Hufanga rounds into shape. I did think it was interesting that they played Hufanga and Brown together and benched Odom. That to me was telling. We'll see. But some of these young guys need to get some burn. Like, I don't ever want to see Ronnie Bell on that fucking field again for the 49ers.
We got another super chat from Gray Fox. Thank you very much, Gray Fox. Bro, I'm going to the game next week, and now I'm nervous about the Pats. The effing Pats. Come on, bro. Yeah, I mean, we were saying.
Can you imagine being nervous about the fucking Patriots?
No, we were saying last week, hey, the 49ers usually have the Rams as their get-right game, right? Whatever BS has happened before, this year it was the loss to the Minnesota, which, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw CJ and D'Amico and Mike, I know you're getting flamed for a certain post you made this morning. That loss doesn't look so bad now with the Vikings out there and whooping, just bending over and spanking the Texans at home. But
yeah, sorry, man, your tweet aged like shit.
Even Lombardi
roasted you, brother.
I didn't see that part, so I have to get back on Twitter and see what he said.
Hit you with the LOL.
He hit you with the LOL for sure.
Yeah.
He's it's like, cool. Don't come at my Kyle. Don't come at my Kyle, Mike.
No, that's absolutely fine. And everyone was like, Mike, there's still time to take it down. I said, no, I left it up there for the duration of the game. In the third quarter, I posted this tweet, aged like milk left on the dashboard in the car with the windows rolled up in Arizona at high noon, right? Like it did not age well. And I still left it up there. I'm not the guy that's going to run from my takes or delete things like that. I did think that the Houston Texans were going to give the business to the Vikings, but I was wrong. But here's the thing. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with being wrong. I was wrong about the Mason thing. You guys here held me accountable to it, right? I don't run from what I'm wrong about. And that's kind of what separates us from other channels, right? When we come on here and we have these outlandish takes and all that stuff, Matt comes on here every single week. Who's your defensive player of the game and give us a prediction, right? He says it time and time again. What did he do as soon as we started the show? Nick Bosa, get your shit together. We don't run from what we're wrong about.
Nope.
And that's what makes us different from everybody else out there doing these things. We don't delete tweets and try to hide our mistakes and all that stuff. We know what we want to see, what we expect to see, but when we're wrong, we're wrong. But that's not on us. You players need to step the fuck up. Yep. You guys need to step the fuck up. And so I'm gonna hold it. I'll take it. Send the shots my way. I am absolutely okay with it. That's cool. LOL from Lombardi. I'll get your ass. I don't even follow that guy, but that's cool. I'll get him.
I will say, after our show Friday night, your guys' discussion around Javon Hargrave, I did go and delete my tweet where I said we gave this bum $84 million, something like that. Because I felt bad. I felt bad. You guys gave me some extra context. Maybe I wasn't fully aware. But other than that, I do typically stick by. I mean, I got flamed a couple years ago. If you guys remember week 17 in LA, Matt, the game you went to,
yeah,
the Niners came down from 17-0. The Niners had to punt with like a minute and a half left and no timeouts. And I tweeted, well, that was a good season. And they ended up winning that game and go to the playoffs. I got flamed for that I mean, they had like an 88% chance of losing that game, but it is what it is. I mean, people are going to come for who they're going to come for. We got another super chat from our guy Grizz. What do you think about Tatum Bethune getting some run? I assume over Campbell he means.
Give it to him. Can't be worse.
Yeah.
It can't be worse. Like this guy can't. Why was he out in coverage? Who was he covering on that play? Was that a wide receiver that he made that tackle on?
Campbell?
Down on the right sideline?
That was a tight end. Tight end. It was Perkins.
Oh, it was a tight end?
Yeah,
okay.
Colby.
But like,
I thought
dude, like,
thing.
I don't want to see this guy out in coverage. Like, you know, he talks a good game and all that shit. He's actually solid in run support. I'll give him that. Yeah. I'll be honest and not, you know, won't be fueled or anything.
Sure. But he can't cover.
He should not be dropping back in coverage. And the Niners have to fucking know that. Sorensen, Staley, you guys got to get your heads out your ass and just stop assuming that, hey, we're going to call the play and the play is going to be executed the way we call it. No, there's a player mismatch thing here for a reason. The NFL is the NFL, guys. Like, come on. We got to get our heads out our ass. And this is not going to be sustainable for the 49ers. We can't just sit here and be like, oh, well, we're gonna run it this way until Dre Greenlaw comes back. We don't even know what condition Greenlaw is going to come back in. You got to find the answer on the roster. If that's Winters, if that's Bethune, find out what the fucking answer is. Get these guys in here and rotate them so we can see and judge. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to this the series. So we were on the fourth possession for the 49ers. The Rams punt. Yeah, the Rams punt. And the 49ers get the ball at their own 19 with 2:56 left in the first half, up 14-0. And 3-yard run to Mason, 12-yard pass to Aiyuk, 6-yard pass to Juszczyk, no gain on third and second and fourth. So it's third and fourth, and Purdy incomplete deep pass to Aiyuk. They go basically 3 and out. They got one first down. And
was
then
this the throwaway?
I think so.
The throwaway that was.
So it was 4th and 4 at our own 40 with, I thought it was right before half. There's 8 minutes left in the second at this point. Now, it was 2:56. That's the duration of the drive. So they punt, and the Rams get the ball at their own 13-yard line, and there are 8 minutes left, 8:55 left. 2-yard run, incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 8, right? Rams at their own 15. Stafford finds Atwell. Oh, wait, sorry. This is the drive I went through. 49ers get the ball with 1 minute and 11 seconds left in half, up 14-7. This is after the Rams touchdown drive.
It was after the Rams ate the entire second quarter on that drive.
Right. Mm-hmm. That drive took 7 minutes and 44 seconds. So get the ball at the 30 after a touchback. Purdy hits Jennings for 11 yards. Purdy scrambles for 11 yards, which I think was the play where he ran around for forever. Williams does get injured on this play, which we know now is a cramp. He leaves the game, goes into the locker room early. 42 seconds left. Purdy finds Saubert for 8 yards. We get all the way up to the 40. And then 2nd and 2, Purdy drops back. McKivitz becomes McKivshits, as he always is. Gets beaten by Brian Young or I don't know what that player's name is.
Byron Young
for the Rams. Sack, forced fumble, and Fisk of the Rams, the linebacker, recovers. So much. The Niners were basically in field goal range as it was. They could have gone up 17-7 at half. but McKivshitz had other plans. He allowed
By the
Juwan
way,
to beat him and get the fumble. Rams recover.
the fact that we're an hour in before we start talking shit about Colt McKivshitz, that tells you how bad the other aspects were of this game.
Yeah. This was his worst play, but he had a pretty bad game. The offensive line as a whole, Jalen Moore came in and was immediate.
Oh my God.
His first rush, he got pushed back 2 yards in the air. I'm like, holy shit.
And by the way, if McKivshitz didn't give up that strip sack, Jalen Moore was well on his fucking way to getting Purdy killed because he was in the backfield too.
Yeah. So going to half, 14-7, and the Rams get the ball to start the second half. And the 49ers defense comes out, looks good. They get 1 first down with a penalty for, illegal use of hands, right? So first down at the 45, and then complete pass, or complete pass for 5 yards, the incomplete pass on 3rd and 5. So the 49ers get a punt. They force a punt. They get the ball down, or they get the ball up 14-7, and this is a beautiful drive. 49ers start with an incomplete pass. Trent Williams comes back. 2nd and 10, Purdy hits Jennings for 9 yards. 3rd and 1, Purdy up the middle. I think this was a sneak for 2 yards. This could have been where they thought it was a fumble, but then he rolled it was down, or maybe that was later. 2nd and 7, Mason for 14 yards up the middle. 1st and 10, we're all the way up to our 37 at this point. Drive started at our own 9. 1st and 10 at the 37, Guerrero, who got some looks in this game, for 5 yards. 2nd and 5, Guerrero for 4 yards. 3rd and 1, Jordan Mason carries it on the left edge for 18 yards. We're down to the Rams 36. Purdy scrambles all over the place, picks up 4 yards. 2nd and 6 at the 32, Guerrero for 1 yard. And then 3rd and 5 from the 31, Purdy drops back and finds Juwan Jennings deep for a 31-yard touchdown. And it was a dime. The 49ers are up 21-7 now. All 3 touchdowns coming thanks to Juwan Jennings. So 21-7. They're up 2 scores. I'm sure you guys were equally as confident. This is it. Like, game's over. Beautiful, beautiful performance. Then the Rams get the ball back. They are down 21-7. They get the ball back, touchback. 1st and 15, incomplete pass to Atwell deep, but Yadam gets called for the PI. So instead of from the Rams 25, they start the next play at the Niners 27. Just like that. It's like a 50-yard flip of the field. Kyron Williams, 4-yard run. Kyron Williams loses 3 yards, fumbles. Givens recovers, but then they review it, and it wasn't a fumble. Williams' knee was down very clearly. 3rd and 9, Stafford hits Tutu Atwell for 11 yards and get the first down. 3rd and 9, give up 11. Why not? Hufanga was in coverage. Kyron Williams, 6-yard run. Kyron Williams, 3-yard run, incomplete pass, but penalty on Renardo Green. This is when he came in for Ward. Holding in the end zone gives the Rams 1st and goal at the 3. 1 play later, Kyron Williams runs it right in for the touchdown. They just could not put this team away. It's 21-14. It's a 1-score game again, but the 49ers, they weren't done. They got the ball back. 3:53 left in the 3rd. Touchback. Purdy hits Jennings for 32 yards. And this was the pass that this dude just mossed Quentin Lake, or whatever his name is. Mossed him, just yanked it through him. I think he literally pulled the football through his body, it looked like. For 32 yards. 1st and 10 at the Rams 38. Mason for 9 yards, but Brendel's flagged for a legal block above the waist. I don't think I've ever heard that called. 10-yard penalty. So it's 1st and 18 at the 46. Purdy hits Jennings again for 14 yards. So it's 2nd and 4. Incomplete pass to Ronnie Bell, which should have caught again. 3rd and 4. Purdy scrambles. What an effort play by Purdy on this one. Scrambles, jukes out 2 defenders, and is able to dive for the first down. So it's 3rd and 4. He gets 5 yards for the first down. 1st and 10, Guerrero picks up 6 yards. 2nd and 4, Guerrero 3 yards. 3rd and 1, Purdy sneaks it. And this is where he fumbled, but they reviewed it. He was very clearly down, but then they ruled him short. So 4th and 1, Purdy sneaks it again, picks up the first down. Purdy's like almost automatic on these sneaks. It is impressive. So 1st and 10 at the 16. Purdy scrambles again for 8 yards. By the way, I don't want to pat myself on the back. If you guys watched the show Friday night, I said expect Purdy to have 30 to 40 rushing yards. He's going to use his legs as a weapon. He finished today with 10 carries for 41 yards. So very impressive, very effective. Second and 2, Mason for 1 yard. Third and 1 at the 7, Mason is stuffed for a 1 yard loss. So Moody comes out there and gives the 49ers a 10-point lead with a 26-yard field goal. So Rams are down 24-14, and they get the ball, touchback. Penalty on Parkinson's, illegal block above the waist. I've never seen this penalty. They called it twice today, at least one on each team. So it's first and 8 at the Rams 32, negated a 15-yard run by Williams. Stafford, deep pass to Marcus Robinson for 32 yards. According to ESPN, Lenore and Warner were in coverage. First and 10 goes from, again, just like we're seeing all the time, it went from the Rams 32 to the Niners 36. One play. First and 10 of the Niners 36. Tutu Atwell deep for 34 yards. And this is the one where they tried to run up and snap the ball really quickly. Luckily, the Niners were able to get the challenge flag out, and it was reversed. Robinson did not hang on to the ball and complete the catch as he went down to the ground. So it's second and 10 from the Niners 36. Stafford hits Atwell for – go ahead.
On that play, we lost a player. Someone got injured on that play.
Fred Warner.
Fred Warner,
Fred
correct.
Warner, yes.
He missed the play
for the next play, right? Yeah, so he missed the next play.
Correct.
I just wanted to point that out. That's all. He did come back after, but we lost him for a play.
So second and 10, hits Atwell for 8 yards. Third and 2 from the 28, and Stafford hits Parkinson for 8 yards. Brown in coverage. First and 10 from the 20, Williams runs it for 4 yards. Second and 6 from the 16, Williams for another 5 yards. Third and 1, the 49ers do force an incomplete pass. But fourth and 1, Kyron Williams just runs it right up the middle for 3 yards. First and goal from the 8, incomplete pass. Second and goal, Stafford is sacked by Okinawu. I think is how you pronounce it. Just called him up off the practice squad. Excuse me. Him and Collins kind of teamed up, I believe, for a sack. So it's third and goal from the 15, incomplete pass. The defense holds to a certain extent, forces a field goal. So it's 24-17, a one-score game again. The 49ers get the ball back with 6:15 left in the fourth quarter. Touchback. Purdy finds Jennings for 15 yards. Mason runs for 9 yards. Second and 1 from the 46. Mason runs for 4 yards. Isaac Guerrero, first and 10, runs for 5 yards. But Juszczyk is called for the softest holding penalty, I swear, ever. So they bring them back 10 yards. First and 20 from the 48. Purdy hits Jennings for 5 yards. This was kind of like a crazy play by Purdy, if I remember correctly. Second and 15 from the 47. Purdy hits Jennings for 7 yards. So it's third and 8. Purdy's scrambling all over the field, evading defenders, and is only able to pick up 3 yards. So it's 4th and 5 from the Rams 37. Did either of you guys think the Niners should have gone for it? 4th and 5, 37 up 7?
No.
Okay.
What's the score here?
They're up 24-17.
Yeah, no, I don't think we should go up.
This was the 55. This was the 55 that Moody missed.
So there's 2:47 left, and after the 3-yard scramble, Moody misses a 55-yard field goal. That would have put them up 10 points. The Rams get the ball at the spot, obviously, with 2:43 left. Stafford immediately hits Tutu Atwell for 50 fucking yards. The Rams' third best receiver against the 49ers' top corner, which, to his credit, he may be injured. I don't know. They didn't really go over it, but he did leave the field and was holding his helmet. So 50 yards, just like that. First and goal at the 49ers' 5-yard line. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Who was the last play to before the field goal attempt?
Yeah, Purdy scrambled for a couple yards.
Scramble that picked up 3 yards.
When did Bell have the big drop?
The next drive.
The next drive.
Oh, that's right.
After it was tied.
I'm sorry. Okay.
When they still had a chance to win the game, but people are going to be like, Brock Purdy should have hit Brandon Aiyuk. Go back and watch the play. Brock Purdy had both Burford and Trent Williams blocking a guy right in his line of sight. He's 6'1" at best. I don't think he even saw Aiyuk.
Okay.
That's one of the bummers to having a shorter quarterback is you're going to have some of those plays.
So 3 plays, 55 yards in 52 seconds is all it took the Rams to get a touchdown and tie it up 24-24. I was fully confident. I even texted the group chat, no worries, a minute and 51, one timeout. The Niners are going to win this game. They're not going to give the ball back. Niners are going to win this game. They get the ball at the touchback, so at the 30. Purdy scrambles for another 4 yards. Second and 6 from our 34. Purdy hits Aiyuk for 9 yards. Incomplete pass on first down. And this is the play. 2nd and 10 from the 49ers 43 with 1:10 left and 1 timeout. Purdy throws to Ronnie Bell along the right sideline, which I think would have put the Niners roughly at the Rams 30. And Ronnie Bell jumps up. You guys all saw it. And his stone hands, the ball bounces right off of them and falls incomplete. So it's 3rd and 10 from our 43. And again, Purdy scrambling for his life, can only pick up 2 yards. 4th and 8 at our 45. And the Rams call a timeout. Mitch punts it. A great punt. Could have stayed in the air a little longer, maybe you could argue. All the way to the Rams' 12-yard line. But the 49ers allow a 38-yard return to where Mitch is the one that needs to stop him. They're already in field goal range.
Special teams. Yay, special teams.
Already in field goal range. So,
and then what happened the very next play?
Very next play, Matt Stafford goes deep to Parkinson. Incomplete, but Lenore is called for holding. Lenore is called for illegal use of hands. And Campbell is called for DPI. 3 penalties all on the 49ers defense when it's tied 24-24 with a minute left. So the Rams go from 50 to the Niners 25 in one play, thanks to 3 penalties. So 1st and 10 at the 25, 6-yard run. Niners call their last time out with 5 seconds left, but it doesn't matter. Rams basically center the ball and let Cardi go out there and kick it. And they go up. They take their fucking first lead of the game with 2 seconds left. They go up 27-24. Niners get the ball at the 30 of the next play. They try the lateral or pass to Bell. He catches this one, goes for 12 yards. Laterals it to Saubert, who loses 3 yards. Laterals it to Aiyuk for 5 yards. Laterals it to Mason for 1 yard. Laterals it to Pooney for a loss of 3 yards. Laterals to Saubert again, 20. Laterals it to Brendel. We're all the way down to the Rams' 35-yard line. And then Brendel throws it to Aiyuk, who cannot haul it in and is took a pretty nasty shot to the back of the head also. But game ends. Game ends on a fail lateral.
Maybe that'll get his mind right so he stops dropping these passes and dropping laterals and all that shit.
Maybe.
I know people said that they should have got a penalty for that, but you ain't going to get that penalty. His back was turned. It's the end of the game. It's a scrum, whatever. You're not a helpless receiver or whatever the fuck it is.
And not only that, once the ball is tipped, all contact is legal after that. And the ball had been touched by 4 other players before then. So there is no illegal contact from that point forward.
By the way, did you guys see Antonio Pierce's comments today?
No.
He said some players made some business decisions today, so we'll have to make some business decisions too moving forward. They lost to the Panthers. That loss was a little worse than this one, I'd argue. But sorry, that was a little sidetrack. But okay, so the 49ers lose this game, fall to 1-2 on the year. Final stats, I read them earlier, but in case you guys missed it, Purdy, 22 for 30, 292 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, with a passer rating of 137.1. Mind you, 8 incompletions. By my
6
estimate,
drops.
7, I think.
7 drops, yeah.
Mason finished today, 19 carries for 77 yards. He's still averaging 4 yards a carry. Purdy, 10 carries, 41 yards. Guerrero, 5 carries for 19 yards. Guerrero looked fine today. Receiving, Jennings, 11 for 175 and 3 touchdowns. Aiyuk, 5 for 48. Saubert, 2 for 41. Bell, 1 for 12. Mason, 2 for 11. Yush, 1 for 6. And then a couple sacks here. Hargrave had a sack. Collins had a sack. Okinawa had a sack. And that's it, man. The Rams, Stafford finished 16-25, 221, 1 touchdown. Passer rating of 105. Kyron Williams, 24 for 89, 2 touchdowns rushing, and then another touchdown passing. Leading receivers, Tutu Atwell, 4 for 93. Robinson, 1 for 32. Whittington, 3 for 28. Williams, 2 for 27. Parks, 3 for 21. Tyler Johnson, 3 for 20. So this was the type of game the 49ers just could not lose, because I didn't even know half the names I'm just reading out on the Rams side, but they found a way to lose.
If you look at the statistics, it's hard to believe that the 49ers lost.
No.
They outgained the Rams 425 to 296. They had almost 300 yards passing when the Rams were held under 200 yards passing total because of, sacks and whatever else. They had 6.5 yards per play to the Rams 5.3, and they held the ball for 33 minutes, 27 seconds to the Rams 26-33.
And they won the turnover battle.
No, they lost the turnover battle.
Oh, I'm looking at it wrong. Sorry,
Yeah.
you're right. You're
So
right.
I mean, they lost a fumble, but at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you lose the fumble, then you get the missed field goal, then you give up the big punt return, and so just
we had 3 sacks there, one. Like,
Yep.
come on, like this was not a game that 49ers were supposed to lose. Like, this was just stupid decisions at the very end and not giving a fuck about the final phase of the game. I mean, that's what it comes down to here.
We got a super chat from our guy Nigel. Thank you, Nigel. What area do the 49ers have to fix for week 4? Offense, defense, special teams, penalties. Can't win many games when you commit over 100 yards in penalties.
Yep.
To me, it's secondary. It's clearly the secondary. That was the weak spot for the 49ers. I mean,
it's the linebackers too. It's Devondre Campbell.
Yeah.
You know?
But
I
to
don't
his
know.
point, the Niners had 7 penalties for 111 yards.
Yep.
Like, think about that. We gave up an entire football field
yep.
plus another first down in penalty yards this game alone. Like, just in this game right here, we lost by 3. If you don't think that 100 yards equates to 3 points, I don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
How do you win games?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Well, and in this game, 100 yards equated for 10 points.
Yep.
You know, because you got however many yards. What was it, like a 45-yard penalty on that PI?
Yep.
Right. Just so that one chunk play, and then you get another 38 yards. You're looking at almost 100 yards right there on 2 plays that equaled 10 points for the Rams. And this is how you get beat. And it's you're asking what area do they need to fix? There is no quick fix because you notice Colt McKivitz, bum, Devondre Campbell getting beat in coverage, Nick Sorensen calling vanilla ass, not fooling anybody ass defenses. Fucking,
Yadam.
What Isaac Yadam. What do all these things having bad special teams? What do they all have in common? These are the bargain basement bullshit. I don't give a fuck about this stuff that this team has. And that falls at the feet of Kyle Shanahan. And Kyle Shanahan is going to, man, I have been the biggest Kyle defender out of everybody because not everything can be placed at the head coach's fault. But this is like, I'm going to clean my kitchen and I'm going to clean the guest bathroom, but my bathroom has piss all over the floor and I haven't made my bed in 3 months. Like the shit that you don't want, like that you don't want to show anybody, like all you care about is the offense. That's what you want to show people. So you don't care. You neglect everything else. Like,
and that's what we have to separate. That's exactly what we have to separate, right? Like Kyle as an offensive coordinator and play caller,
fantastic.
He was absolutely fine. Yeah. He can't help the drops by Aiyuk. He can't help the drops by Bell. You know what I'm saying? Like if those drops weren't drops, we win this game. Just that by itself alone, we win this game. But then you factor in the special teams. Then you factor in the defensive personnel decisions, and you factor in the play calling and the defense and all that stuff. All of that compounds the issues in addition to who you're throwing the ball to, the personnel on the offense. Play calling in it of itself, absolutely fine. More than enough to win this game. Play calling on the offensive side of the ball in it of itself was more than enough to win this game.
I would have liked to see maybe a draw play on that 3rd and 8 that Purdy scrambled for like a couple yards.
Right.
Because
the last one for
52 versus 55 might make a difference. But, that's a small nitpick. I think in the second half they kind of got away from running the ball, and I think they could have kept up with that a little bit. 100%. But I mean, if you're looking at it though, again, Jordan Mason did have 4.1 yards per carry, but they really started honing in. Like he got off to a really good start, and then they really started stuffing the run a little bit. So I kind of understand, but I think on that 3rd and 8, you might have had a little bit of mileage with them being in an obvious pass defense. I think they dropped like 7 or 8 in coverage on that play. And if you just run like a draw play, then maybe you get an extra 2 or 3 yards that Purdy didn't get on the scramble, and you have something,
And it's so weird because Mason at halftime had 2.5 yards a carry. He had 12 carries. What's 2.5 times 12? I don't know the math on it right now. 30, 40,
that's going to be 28.
That's all he had in the first half.
I'm sorry, 30. Excuse me, 30.
Cool. Sorry. But the second half, he got it all the way up to 4.1 yards to carry, which means the run game was working in the second half. Why'd we go away from it then?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? In order to bring his average all the way up to 4.1, he had to be doing something well. Why did we go away from it then? It doesn't make any sense. In a game that was a one-score possession where we had the lead until the very last drive when we didn't have the lead. You get what I'm saying? Why go away from the run game?
Not only that, but if you run the ball, you either force the Rams to call their last timeout, or you run the ball, you get enough for and make it an easier field goal. Instead, I guess the same outcome happened because Purdy ended up running. It's not like it was an incomplete pass where the clock stopped. I just think you would have had more of a chance to pick up a first down, 5-6 yards. I mean, what's his name Mason had multiple first down runs that went for 8 to 9 yards. So it wouldn't have been out of the realm for the 49ers to pick that up on the ground. And I thought that was a very interesting call from Kyle. I have if you guys want to hear it, I have Moody here from his missed kick. I have a video here.
Let's hear it.
Courtesy of NBC.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any player interviews after the game, so
me either.
No, felt really good going out there. Felt really confident. Feel like I hit it well. Great snap, great hold. Just hold it a touch. So that's basically it. Yeah, just situationally, it sucks that it had to happen, at that point. But, I gave it, my best kick, and it's not like I wasn't prepared for the moment or anything. I felt really prepared and felt really confident. Just happened to miss a little left.
Overall, this season's gone really well so far. It's just sometimes
Yeah, just it happens. Like I said, it sucks, situationally when it did happen, but just got to move forward and make the next kick. Just focus on the next one. That's as simple as that. There's stuff to learn from sometimes, but I felt like, I approached the kick, like I do any other kick. I feel like I hit it well. There's not anything I regret doing, so just move on to the next one. There's not much I can learn from that one, other than I just missed it. So, yeah, just move on to the next kick.
I mean, what the fuck else are you supposed to say?
Exactly. I mean,
It's not like you shanked it like 30 feet wide.
No.
Like it missed by like 6 inches.
it almost barely hit the upright. Yeah.
Right.
So I don't blame
And this,
Moody.
and by the way, this is from a guy that we criticized so much for pushing the ball right every year last year. And he kicked it from the left hash and it just didn't go through.
No, it should have never came down to that. I think the three of us agree on that point very strongly.
There were opportunities before and there were opportunities after. And I got another interview. I put it in the chat. Pull that shit up because listen, I love Brock Purdy, and he's never gonna I love Brock Purdy. I'm just gonna say that. And Ronnie Bell, you should love Brock Purdy. Pull this shit up.
While you're pulling it up, I would just want to remind everybody that even after the miss, the Niners had a touchdown lead, and the defense was healthy and well rested.
Choked it up.
It was to go up 10 points. Not for the win. It was to go up 10 points.
Right, exactly. That wasn't for the win. That wasn't to tie the game, send it to overtime or anything like that. The Niners had a 7-point lead following the fucking miss. That's
what happened
not on
the
that
next
kid.
play, Mike? What happened the very next play following the miss?
52 yards, 50 whatever yards.
50 yard. 50
Do you know?
yard pass.
You know what this is like? This is exactly like the Super Bowl when people are like, "Fuck! If only they could have hit Jawan Jennings or whatever." And they had to settle for
get the fuck out of here.
They walked off the field with the fucking lead, and then the defense let Kansas City march all the way down the field.
The defense fucking folded. I don't want to hear anything else about Mooney Ward.
The offense carries this team right now. Okay, the 49ers' days of being an elite defense are done until they prove otherwise.
By the way,
offense carries this team.
The offense without CMC, Debo,
without
Kittle,
no
today,
CMC, no Debo,
still carried this team.
Missing your starting left guard.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's hear from Purdy.
What did you see there? He clearly was open. I mean, you were kind of buying time there and just saw him come over.
Yeah, he had a double move, and that was the look we wanted, and he got his guy. And by the time I got to him, I think I was just trying to give him a chance, and I don't know if I had enough juice on it, just from where I was at in the pocket. So just try to give him a chance, and obviously I think I could still give him a better ball and everything. So, but he's a young guy. I love him, man, and we all got Ronnie's back, so we're going to continue to need him and build him up, and we're all in this together, man. It's a team sport, man. So it's not one play here. It's all of them all put together. So yeah.
That motherfucker put the ball in a perfect spot and still blamed himself.
Leader.
Like if you got a problem with Brock Purdy, I don't know what to say to you. Because in a clear situation where he did everything he was supposed to do, and it was all on Ronnie Bell for dropping a gimme. I mean, that shit hit him in the fucking hands.
Couldn't have been any better. Couldn't have been any better of a throw.
Like,
and Ronnie Bell, if you're over there, hoping to maybe revitalize your image, prove to the 49ers that you are worth these snaps.
You better go up to that
ball.
Yeah.
Ball.
At the very least, also, by the way, he should go up and to the podium and be like, no, Brock threw that perfectly. Because the ball that he threw to Jennings, that Jennings fucking mossed that DB, was way worse.
He caught that ball.
That was the only turnover-worthy throw that I saw from Brock Purdy today. And Juwan Jennings just plucked that shit right out.
Juwan Jennings caught a pass off of a defender's chest plate.
Right.
Do you understand how fucking crazy that is?
Right.
Did you
guys? Do you understand how crazy that is?
And Brock's over here being like, I could have given him a better ball. Man, no, you couldn't have.
Did you guys see Juwan refuse to talk to the media after? I don't blame him. Career day. Career day. And again,
see,
I mean,
I didn't see that. I don't like that.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it either.
I don't like it, but I don't blame him.
I mean, I do blame him, though, because that's not the culture that this locker room has. If you got Brock Purdy going up there saying, I could have given a better ball to Ronnie Bell, then Juwan Jennings needs to come out and talk, right?
Yeah, tuck the emotions, big guy. And you know why I understand why, because he's gonna go up there and do nothing but blame other people for the loss. Because what he can't say is, I could have done better. That's the one thing we know Juwan Jennings can't say after tonight's game, right? Like 3 touchdowns on 11 receptions, 170 plus yards. He literally can't say, I could have done better. So anything that they ask him about the game that didn't have to do with him particularly is going to be pointing the finger at somebody. So in that sense, I understand him.
Not necessarily, though. Like, you could walk up there and be like, look, I know I did the XYZ, but the team didn't win, so who cares?
But you can't start it with, I know I did X, Y, and Z. And that's why it's going to only put him in a bad position.
I mean, numbers are numbers, whatever. Like, he could have gone out there and like glazed Brock Purdy a little bit, been like, hey man, like I had the day I had because of Brock Purdy. A win would have been great. Like, hats off to the opposing. Like, there's the media training way to do this, but he's going to catch a fine for refusing media.
He could have said like something along the lines of, I had a good game, but it wasn't enough. Clearly it wasn't enough.
Hit him with the Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but like at the end of the day, like I'm with you, Mike. I understand it. I'd be pissed too. First receiver since Jerry Rice in 1995 to have 10 catches, 150 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a game for the 49ers. It's tough, man. It's
since
real
what
tough.
Year?
1995.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Holy shit. Wow.
Best wide
what
receiver
a game
day
by
for the 49ers
Jennings.
since 1995.
And let me tell you guys, it's on us to not let this go. It's on us as content creators to not just let this fall by the wayside, because what a fucking performance by Juwan Jennings.
Yep.
Don't go to the podium. We got your back. We'll say it for you, big dog.
3 times in 49ers quarterback history in 49ers history has a quarterback completed 70 or more % of his passes and thrown 3 touchdowns in the loss. Montana in 85 versus the Rams, Young in 92 versus the Bills, Purdy today.
There you go.
I mean, it's great company. It's unfortunate that it was a loss, but Purdy played about as well as we could. And what was the narrative coming into today, guys? Oh,
yeah.
Good without
he needs all the Avengers. Yep. He needs all the Avengers.
With Jennings, he did it with Aiyuk, who of course are great players. We said it on Friday. How many teams would love to have Aiyuk, Jennings, and Mason with Kyle calling plays? About half the league would take that over their current situation.
Yes, sir.
Purdy was not the reason the 49ers lost. And I'll ask you a couple questions and we'll start to wrap up here. What you saw from Purdy today, some guys in our chat were saying, I've seen enough. He give him $55 million a year. I don't need to see anymore. Did that make you guys a lot more confident in the 49ers having to come to a decision and in March of next year as far as what they're going to pay him?
Oh, I mean, he's going to, I'm good. I'm
right,
good
right. But like, did today, do anything to make you feel more?
I mean, for me, I was already on board with Brock Purdy, but I think it just cements that it's not just, oh, Brock Purdy is being carried by everybody else. No, Brock Purdy's a baller, and he does a lot. The fact of the matter that he was still able to he got 41 yards rushing, and Zach, you called it on the preview show that Brock Purdy was going to use his legs to really get things going. And, again, when you're 22 of 30 with 6 drops or 7 drops or whatever it is, like the only one throw that I think I saw that was like not a catchable one was like essentially that throwaway towards BA that accounted for one of his targets. That obviously that wasn't a catchable ball. You shouldn't count that against BA or whatever. That it was a clear throwaway to the sideline or whatever. Like, you don't have CMC, you don't have Debo, you don't have Kittle. Juwan Jennings is taking the wide receiver 2 spot. BA is being double covered all day. You got a tight end who's bounced around the league for 8 years. You got Ronnie Stonehand Bells out there along with Conley or whatever. You're missing your first round draft pick from this year because you got shot in the chest. Like, what more? What can you put it? And again, it's so fucking infuriating that people on Twitter are like, he missed BA wide open for a fucking like. Fuck, dude. Like, Tom Brady never missed a fucking read or a throw or anything like that. Like, this happens multiple times a game. And just because you sit there in your fucking dark basement in your mom's house doing nothing but poring over fucking all 22 film, and you're like, so, fucking, you could have had him, bro. Well, in the moment, he didn't have him. But guess what? People are acting like this was some bad play or whatever. They got 5 yards on the play because he completed a pass to Juwan Jennings on the other side. Like, I don't know what else you guys want, man. Like, to me, Brock Purdy deserves what he's going to get.
It's, I hear Matt saying, like, tonight didn't really change anything in your opinion. Tonight, it did change stuff for me. I said it that I was going to be on the train. I said that there were 2 trains pulling up to the station, and one was Brock Purdy is not worth the money, and Brock Purdy is worth the money. And I said I was going to be the conductor of whichever one that I saw from this game. Brock Purdy is worth the money. And again, I said it wasn't about stats. I was very, very clear with my entire pregame assessment. I don't give a shit about stats. I want to see decision-making, positional, situational awareness, ball placement, etc. Brock Purdy was damn near flawless tonight. I understand what the numbers say and what the stats say. He had 1 ball that was thrown away tonight that I saw that I can remember, and that was to save down in position. He tucked the ball where he could have tried to make a questionable pass. Maybe it would have been a big gain, but he took the lesser of the options and ran the ball for some positive yardage and get the kicker in a more advantageous position to seal the game. He did all the right things to will his team to a win. I am officially the conductor on Brock Purdy is the guy, not a guy. When we go and do the Avenger rankings and say who's who, Brock Purdy is no longer Hawkeye or Black Widow or Scarlet. What was Scarlett Johansson's character's name?
Black Widow.
Oh,
yeah. There's Scarlet Witch too.
Oh yeah. No, he's not as powerful as Scarlet Witch. I'll take that back. But
she's fine though.
He's up there though. Like he might be Captain America, right? Like, let me call the plays, guys. Listen to what I'm saying. Let me come up with the plan, devise the plan, and we can make this shit happen. I might not be the strongest, fastest, biggest, strongest, but if you listen to what I'm saying, I'm the tactical guy. He bumped his way up the rankings tonight for me. It's not on Brock Purdy at all. This loss.
Nope. 100%.
And I don't give a shit that it says that he had 7 or 8 incompletions or whatever. Those 8
7 of which
incompletions
were
not. Yeah, they weren't on him at all. Brock Purdy was damn near flawless this evening. And so anybody who thinks any different, you just weren't watching the same game. You weren't paying attention. You were just reading the box scores and trying to make a decision based off of that. Brock Purdy did everything he needed to do in the game without the rest of the Avengers there. This was post Thanos snap. This was with 50% of them gone already and still making the best out of a bad situation. Brock Purdy's that guy. I'm with it. I'm on board.
He also, I believe, if my math is correct, still leads the NFL in passing. He had 550 before today, so he had another 292 or 292 today, which should put him at 842 on the year in 3 games. So he's leading the NFL in passing. I know passing's down, but
he might just break the 49ers record again. Who knows?
Right. We got a super chat from Gray Fox. Thank you very much, Gray Fox. Appreciate your support.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
Ray
think
has been
they'll-
coming through.
100%. You're the man.
Yep.
Do you think they'll rush McCaffrey back? The first game he's eligible to come back is the Seattle game in Seattle, and now we can't lose that one. Is that a Thursday night game also?
It is a Thursday night game that I will be in attendance for.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm rushing McCaffrey back. I didn't see Mason being a liability out there. I didn't
No.
see Mason costing the Niners anything. I'm not rushing McCaffrey back. If he's not ready, sit your pale ass on the sideline, go and get a tan, get those thighs and calves and Achilles and all that shit better. Take your time, heal up. Until the run game is a liability, then I'll be concerned. But right now, we haven't seen it so far.
yep.
And Mason caught both passes that went his way today. So it's not like he's
Exactly.
even a liability in the passing game either. Mason does a good job of chipping when he's asked to block on passing down. So no, I don't think that you rush back Christian McCaffrey, because again, when you start getting people back, that's when maybe this team can, start to put some stuff together, and you want to make sure that he's ready for a stretch run rather than, a Seattle game or whatever.
Will says, why do people care about passing yards? Passing yards usually means you are a losing team.
Or it means that
to
you
the
blow teams out
effectiveness-
early because you've been diming them up.
Right, and the effectiveness of a quarterback. If Purdy's coming out here having 122 yards passing each game, probably not going to want to pay him a record-setting deal come next March. By the way, the 2-year 10.5 or 15.4 million with 10.5 guaranteed contract extension Jauan Jennings signed this offseason is looking like fucking gold for the 49ers right now. You had the craziness, weirdness going on with BA. You have Debo looking slower and then injured. Kittle gets injured. CMC gets injured. But Jennings is fucking perfect. Like, Jennings goes out there, does the dirty work, catches the crazy balls. What was his nickname coming in? I mean, his whole career, third and Jauan, because he's dependable. And the 49ers, well, fans, I should say, had said, well, that's because he's got BA and Debo to take the top 2 defenders. Let's see him when he needs to be the number 1. He was the number 1 today. The 49ers went to him. He only didn't catch one of the 11 targets or 12 targets he had, and it arguably was a throwaway. So hell of a job from Jennings. Extension looks like gold, looking back on it now. Let me ask you guys this, and then we'll start to wrap up. The 49ers are 1-2. They have what now looks to be a must-win game next week at home versus the Patriots. And then let's see, after that, is after that the Thursday night game versus the Seahawks?
Yep.
Pulling up the schedule
Yep.
here. Yeah. Then they have the Seahawks game. Seahawks very well could be 4-0 when the 49ers face them. Next week they have. Sorry, let me just get this up for you. Yeah, they have the Lions next week, so maybe they aren't 4-0, maybe they're 3-1. But how are your guys' outlook? What are your guys' outlooks on the rest of the season? Are you doom and gloom like some people are already saying tank for the number 1 pick, try and get Travis Hunter? What are your guys' thoughts on how these 2 losses impact the season going
Holy
forward?
shit.
And are you still confident in this team's ability to right the ship and turn it around?
I think I've downgraded them from definitive favorite in the NFC to a playoff team, and that's where we're at right now. Like, I can't say that they're the best team in the NFC because they haven't shown that. Now that could change, obviously, week to week, NFL, but this team definitely needs to not be. I feel like they've been caught looking like they expect to get back to the playoffs. It's going to be an easy ride because they went to the Super Bowl last year. Like Debo said on his podcast, we've been the best team for years or whatever.
Shit pissed me off so much.
You can't live on that. It's week to week in the NFL. It's always any given Sunday. And I hope that getting smacked in the mouth 2 weeks in a row, getting that 2-piece from the, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Listen, humble
yourself.
You got 2 black eyes, bitch. Don't let me tell you a third time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got that hillbilly lesson. You know what I'm saying? So they need to take it one game at a time. Go out there, get right against the Patriots, absolutely just demolish them, and then going forward, you need to figure that out. And actually, after the Patriots, it's not the Seahawks. It's actually the Cardinals.
Oh, really?
6th, and then the Seahawks is on October 10th.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So,
and then after that, it's a 10-day, and then we jump into the hard part of the schedule, right? Chiefs,
Chiefs,
Cowboys,
Cowboys,
Bucks,
Bucks,
Seahawks
Seahawks.
again, Packers with a returning Jordan Love at that point. Then we get the Buffalo Bills. So like that's
In
a huge
Buffalo.
stretch. They have to start getting
Yeah,
these
but-
teams and these games that are winnable under their belt. They need to get right because the schedule's not going to get easier from here. These last 2 games were very winnable games, and they're squandering the easy portion of their schedule right now.
Yeah. Mike?
Yeah, no, they're squandering the easy portion of their schedule. I agree with what Matt is saying, but we also get reinforcements coming back very shortly after the easy part of our schedule, right? So here we are 2 weeks away from Christian McCaffrey and Pearsall coming back.
Possibly CMC.
Well, yes, possibly CMC, Pearsall for sure, Kittle for sure, Debo for sure, right? So while we are in the tough part of everything, here's what I want to see continue. I want to see Brock Purdy continue to have confidence in players not named the guys on the
Avengers
active list. Yeah, right? And then make it harder for teams to prepare for that. Like, oh, dude, we thought if we just took this guy away that everything would be okay. Not so fast. Now all of a sudden Jennings is going crazy. Now all of a sudden, and next week let it be somebody else, right? Next week let it be Cowling. Next week let it be Mason or something. I don't know, but that's what I want to see. And then make it harder for opposing teams and defenses to prepare for. And then we mix everybody back in there. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, now the Niners can start to hit their stride. Now we can all of a sudden be getting midseason form come week 8, week 9, and everyone's back in there. They've been back for a couple of weeks and we're okay. I wish we had some cushion. I wish we built up some cushion, but I'm okay with taking it also. As far as tanking and going for the number 1 pick right now, absolutely not. There's too much talent on this team. There's too many star players, good players that are coming back from injury to just sit here and pack it up right now. So we shouldn't be that way. Is it okay to be down right now? Absolutely. Is it okay to want more, to see, to desire better from coaches and things like that? 1,000%. I'm with everybody who feels that way. I'm with you guys. I literally feel that way. But it's way too early to just say the season's at a loss right now. We're 1-2, guys. We're 1-2, and there's 14 games left. I've seen the Niners go on crazy stretches with Kyle Shanahan here. I'm talking 8 games. I'm talking 5 games. You can try to mix it and spin it however you want. The Niners with Kyle Shanahan have gone on crazy win streaks before. It's not out of the realm of possibility, and it's perfectly attainable if we're being completely honest with ourselves. So let's stay patient. Let's go ahead and overreact. Let's be as negative as we possibly can be right now, given this game. But we got to step back and realize we are the fucking 49ers. We got some really, really good players, and they're coming back. So let's chill out a little bit on that.
Very well said. We got another super chat from our guy, Great Fox 198. Thank you, Great Fox. Mike, I live in the Seattle area. I always go to watch the Niners. I would go to the game, but my wife is 6 months pregnant. I would love to meet you. Well,
yeah, so I actually responded to him in the chat somewhere. I don't know where it is, but if he has a bar or something like that he wants to go to, I have not purchased tickets to the game yet. I do want to go tailgate. I want to get there nice and early on Thursday. I will be out there Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. I have a couple of appearances to make for a couple of shows that are lined up. And then Thursday, I would like to go and tailgate in the actual stadium parking lot, but I haven't bought tickets yet. I'm thinking about it. I'm back and forth. There's a part of me that would love to go to a bar. There's also a part of me that would say, hey, it might be cool to go out there and see what the stadium is like. I don't really care to go to games. I'm not that guy. I prefer to be in the comfort of my own home or watching on a TV somewhere. So going to a bar is not outside of the realm of possibility. So if he knows of a place that we can maybe meet and have good food, get me some good seafood or some good wings with plenty of TVs around to watch the game, even that's a possibility. I'll happily meet him out there, and I'll pass it off to my buddy. I'm actually going to that game with Ali. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm actually flying into Vancouver. Ali and I are going to be driving back out there, and we'll be chilling. So we have a nice Airbnb, got some hookahs, got some drinks and all that stuff to chill. I'm even cool with watching the game at our place, if you want to make it something intimate and invite a couple of people over there. But I do want to go and tailgate at the stadium and then go back and watch the game wherever we're going to be, because I want to set up for post-game and pre-game shows and all that kind of shit. So, yeah.
And it won't be a Diddy party, guys. Don't worry. It'll be a normal party. Sorry, I just had to.
Yeah, nobody's getting. Well, never mind. I shouldn't say that. I don't know how other people are planning, but I
The-
don't plan on doing any of that.
the-
Kind of
the
shit.
Seahawks
Guard
might-
your nostrils, homie. Guard your nostrils. That's all I'll say.
Seahawks might wake up a little sore. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, I'm not waving the red flag, sounding the alarm, whatever euphemism you want to say just yet. I did start the show by saying the 49ers lost 3 in a row, 2 of which to AFC opponents last year. It would have been a little more helpful if they decided to lose these stinkers to AFC opponents, but it is what it is. Brock Purdy's first loss to the division was bound to happen. Unfortunately, it happened today on a great day from him. Was not at fault. I've said this before on the show. Patriots went 16-0, lost the Super Bowl, but then they won it a couple years later, 11-5. Like, it's never the best teams that are going to go and win it every year. Edelman and Tom Brady said themselves, like, if we were to guess that 16-0 team, that would be the one to go and win it all. Yet a team that we really didn't even think that was that great went and won it all. Like, the 49ers are very well. And Mike, I think you hit the nail on the head. You can get hot at the right moment. And we've seen wild card teams go on a run and win it all. So it's 1-2. I'm not waving the alarm yet. The 49ers have plenty of time to regroup, reevaluate, maybe make whatever changes need to be made. And most importantly, both of you guys alluded to, get the reinforcements back. You're getting Greenlaw, Pearsall, CMC, Debo, Kittle. Could there be a more handful of stars that are waiting to play?
Those are big names.
Yeah.
Those are big names. Yeah. And to your point, Zach, I mean, look at Kansas City last year. They weren't even the number 1 seed.
No.
I think they were the 3 seed last year, actually.
Yeah.
Because Buffalo beat them head to head in the regular season.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's not necessarily the 15-2 team or the 14-3 team that's going to do it. Again, you just hope that they play better. You hope that Sorensen learns fucking something in this role in the next couple of weeks that helps prepare him for the later half. All you want to see is just steady progress.
Yep.
But for the usual suspects that we don't need to see, Ronnie Bell, don't need to see him anymore, right? People will be like, oh, we don't know what we have in Pearsall. I'm like, I'll tell you, it's not worse than Ronnie Bell.
Can't be.
Right.
Can't be.
Right.
Just like Green can't be worse than Yadam.
No.
And I'll eat crow. I'll eat crow on that because I sat here 2 months ago saying, wow, this is the deepest secondary the 49ers have had. If Yadam is our third, we are solid. He's looked great.
Yep. I said the same thing.
Yep. Same.
Apparently the third is the one that's being picked on. So
right. Yeah, we might have to put your boy Rocky Yassin in, my man.
Yeah.
Mike. Can it be worse than Yadam, who gets picked on all game? Like,
yes,
you know
it can be. He is worse. I don't want to see it. He is worse. He is worse. I'm going to stand on it until I'm wrong.
You got to at least play Renardo Green.
Is he even on the roster? I thought we cut him.
He is. No, he is.
He is.
Yeah.
Oh,
anybody know what Jason Verrett's doing right about now? Or how about Dante Johnson?
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay.
All right. I think that's going to do it for today. I got to go grab some dinner. Mike, please let the folks know where to find you. It was a tough loss, but the 49ers are still good enough to right the ship. Please let the folks know where to find you.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's watching right now, man. All of you guys that are over on the 49ers, Nothing But Niners YouTube page. Make sure you head on over to 49ers Hive YouTube page and give my guys a follow. They put in a lot of really, really great work. 49ers Hive, please, please, please head on over there. Thank you all for the support. We really, really appreciate it. You guys will get this kind of heat, vitriol, passion. Passion is the word that we want to highlight, right? Because when we win games, we're just as passionate about it. So make sure you guys get on over here, follow, like, subscribe, all that good shit. And then for more bonus content, it's right there. Patreon.com/NB9ERS. We will be back with more phenomenal shows, and you won't want to miss it. I promise.
Very well said. Go hit up the Patreon, guys. You don't want to miss the live coverage of every game, especially if you don't have Sunday ticket. I'm just going to say it. Matt, please do us a solid. Carry us out.
Yo, tough game today, so let's just put this one behind us. A lot of therapeutic yelling and screaming and lamenting on this show. So it's back home to Levi Stadium. We get the New England Patriots, and just got to go out and play ball. So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. For Mike, for Zach, for myself, we love having you here. And until next time, go Niners.